Our next one is from Shania.
Dear Jill, I'm in my 20s and having huge anxiety in regard to my future. I've tried dating apps, but I never really have any luck. I am bi, but have zero experience due to an assault a number of years ago. When guys find out, they get all weird about it or start making really degrading comments or jokes or start talking super sexually. And I struggle with telling them to stop. As for women, all I get is mixed messages. I do want to, but I'm scared. And I feel like the longer I put it off, it won't ever happen. But then I'm also left feeling like a failure compared to those around me.
Okay, well, first of all, you're definitely not a failure. You're absolutely categorically not a failure. So I know those thoughts are going to come into your head, and I'm not saying, you should get rid of them. I'm just telling you that they're just thoughts, they're not real. So this is always really difficult, isn't it? When you're trying to explore your sexuality and your romantic relationships, but like you've alluded to, you've had an experience in the past that obviously sounds traumatic. I've been reading lately, and I think it's true because where I've been reading it from seems pretty reliable, that apparently dating apps are on the way out. And what is on its way back in, thank God, is meetups, connection, like big get togethers, almost like single nights, which when you say it seems so old fashioned, but actually is used to be really, really popular. And I think maybe that could be a really good idea for you to do and to get involved with meetups, because what I think people miss out on these days because of dating apps is just being with people, just being with men and women, flirting, chatting, having conversation. And you know what? Not necessarily going anywhere with it, just the feeling of being with people, whoever that may be, exploring who you are, exploring your sexuality with them, exploring conversations you're having, your likes, your dislikes, your desires. That's really important. And I feel like on dating apps, what we do is we basically judge somebody on a picture, and then we meet up in a coffee shop, and within 5 minutes we've decided if we like or we dislike. Or like you said, you get some people that are talking to you in a way that just isn't doesn't feel right for you and feels offensive. So I would do that. I would just search in my area for singles nights, meetups, people of your age, with the idea of just being with lots of people, just being like one of my favorite things when I was young and single was just being out, surrounded by other people in sweaty bars and nightclubs, just having a laugh, just having bits of conversation here, bits of conversation there, a little dance here. It was just about feeling like the energy of everyone around you and just feeling like you belonged and you were living and you were breathing. And I feel like dating has somehow sterilized all of that. It's taken away all of that sort of feeling of just being in a room together, being able to like smell each other almost. And I mean that in the nicest way, but that real primal feeling of just, that sort of sexual sort of frisson that you have with people. So that's what I would say. I would say just go out and just start meeting as many people as possible. Nothing ever has to lead to something if you don't want it to. You just have to get used to just being with people of all sexualities and ages and whatever their backgrounds. It's just you just getting to know you, because that's how you get to know yourself, by being with other people. You could like sit in a room on your own for 40 years and you wouldn't know yourself until you went out and met other people, because other people make us feel a certain way. They trigger us in a different way. They make us react in a certain way. And that can be, terrifying and exciting. But it sounds to me like you just really are craving just real, just connection, and also having fun. Just have fun and just keeping it as exciting and as fizzy as you like, without it having to go somewhere that doesn't make you feel comfortable. So yeah, go out, have fun, be with people, and just connect. Get sweaty. Do you know what I mean by that, though, Emma? Like when you were younger and just that feeling of it just felt really alive when you were in clubs and bars and just almost shouting at each other because you could barely hear. But even I used to remember like when somebody like leans in to say something to you and you can sort of feel their breath on your neck and things like that. And it's all of those moments and you're like, oh, it's sexy and it feels fun. And then like, I just feel like dating apps have just killed all of that feeling of just getting in a room together.
There's nothing more scary or more like, when your heart starts flickering, when,
Yeah.
someone's looking at you from
Yeah.
across the room, they're approaching, they're going to buy me a drink. Oh,
He's coming,
he's
he's coming, he's coming.
Don't panic, stay calm.
What I say?
But making them like, oh, why did I say that?
Mhm.
That means that you're human.
Exactly.
And you care.
Exactly. And like less like an interview. And it's really hard when you're on dating apps because you do have to go and meet up with people. You have to see them in person. But it does feel very, and then there's me, and then there's you, and you ask me a question, I ask you a question. Whereas when you're in these rooms and you're full of people, you can say 3 sentences to somebody and then you can be off talking to somebody else. And then you can think, oh, actually, I want to go back to that person. I quite like them. It's just fun and takes the pressure off. I really feel for young people now, feeling like that. I just felt like it was just so much easier when I was younger because that's all we had. So that's all we did,